Welcome to the American Road Trip. We rented an RV and we are on a road trip. We are in an amazing place. This is Antelope Canyon. This is actually Lower Antelope Canyon. What we're going to do is take a tour.
On the way to the canyon, just make sure you guys stay seated at all times.
On this trip, we are headed to Antelope Canyon, Arizona. It is a canyon that can be walked through, formed by erosion of the Navajo sandstone due to flash flooding. Rainwater runs into the extensive basin above the Slot Canyon. As the water picks up speed and sand, it rushes into the narrow passageways. This area is also a source of tourism for the Navajo Nation. On the way to Antelope Canyon, we will be traveling through Lake Powell, and we're going to camp there. Then we're going to head to Glen Canyon and cross the Colorado River via the Glen Canyon Dam, which is near Page, Arizona. And here we are arriving into the beautiful roads of Lake Powell. Lake Powell is a reservoir on the Colorado River. It sits between the border of Arizona and Utah. Well, I tell you what, we are Lake Powell. This place is just incredible. There's a name for this campsite here at the national park. I'll put a graphic on it because I forgot. It's a very interesting name. It's a cool name. We came in last night after hours, so it's a first come first serve kind of deal. And there's about 3 or 4 loops for full hookup RVs. We found a spot right here on top of the plateau. It's just an amazing view. Not real sure why someone else didn't pick it, but maybe they all came in before they closed, so the office picked it for them. But we found another couple spots lower, but certainly the views weren't as good. And we're going to drive around here and take a look. We're actually going to Antelope Canyon, not to be confused with Antelope Valley, which is California. Antelope Canyon, and then there we're going to go to the Grand Canyon. Lake Powell was created by the flooding of Glen Canyon by the Glen Canyon Dam. This also created the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. It's very popular, that is visited by approximately 2 million people every year. The reservoir is named after the one-armed Civil War veteran, John Wesley Powell. He explored these rivers with a crew of men in 3 wooden boats in 1869. In 1972, Glen Canyon Recreation Area was established. We are leaving Wahweap Campground, a very nice place. The area offers a variety of power boats and water toys to choose from. There are also restaurants and lounges. And now we head toward Glen Canyon. It is a natural canyon, mostly in southeastern and south-central Utah. A lower part of the canyon sits in the northern part of Arizona. Glen Canyon is carved by the Colorado River.
Glen Canyon is the key water storage unit of the Colorado River Storage Project.
Visitor center. Wow, man, look at down there. Look at down there.
Wow.
Holy smoke.
Wow.
Jiminy.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Hydroelectric power produced by the dam's 8 generators helps meet the electrical needs of the growing population of the West. It produces about 5 billion kilowatt hours of hydroelectric power annually. In 1956, Congress authorized the construction of the dam. It was on the Colorado River, 17 miles north of Lee's Ferry, Arizona, and 12 miles south of the Arizona-Utah border. There was no railroads or roads nearby, and the closest town was 130 miles to Kaneb, Utah. There was no way across the canyon. One would have to travel 190 miles just to get to the other side. Thus, that's how the project of building the bridge got started. Now we are headed to Antelope Canyon. Antelope Canyon is a slot canyon in the southwest and is on the Navajo Reservation and east of Page, Arizona. Antelope Canyon includes 2 separate scenic slot sections, referred to individually as Upper Antelope Canyon, or the Crack, and Lower Antelope Canyon, or the Corkscrew.
We are in an amazing place. This is Antelope Canyon. This is actually Lower Antelope Canyon. What we're going to do is take a tour in trucks to go down into the canyon, and they let us out and we walk on a trail and look at some different areas that are just supposed to be pretty amazing. This is actually operated by the Navajo Nation, so it's pretty neat. They also have did I say upper or lower? We're in the upper. Yeah, and there's another one that's a lower one, which is on the other side of the road. And you need to have reservations when you come here. But if you don't, they do take walk-ins, but you just don't know what time they'd be available. Ours is going to be about an hour and a half or 2 hours or so. So we're here in the RV, just kind of hanging out in the parking lot and having a bite to eat. We'll give you a couple of shots of what this area looks like. Very famous area. I've got a brochure that looks like it's things you would see with other travelers and things you might see in movies and television as well. So, pretty cool. Temperature's pretty good, actually. It's probably about 72, 74 maybe. Depends if the sun is behind a cloud or not. During the summer though, 100 degrees. Woo. I don't know how people do that, but anyway, we're going to take a look, and we'll take the video camera too. How exciting.
On the way to the canyon, just make sure you guys stay seated at all times. Also, some areas of the road do get a little bit bumpy, so make sure all your loose items are secured so nothing falls out while we're moving.
15 minutos, vaya siempre por la derecha, no haga peligro.
These trucks were mostly 3/4-ton Chevy trucks with seats built into the bed of the truck. There must be room for about 15 people. The suspensions were built up along with big oversized tires to handle the deep sand terrain. The suspensions worked pretty good. It wasn't too bumpy, considering. It was actually a rather smooth ride.
Okay, we are on our way into this canyon. We took a truck ride in here, so now we're gonna go in here. So it'll be very interesting. I'm not sure what we're gonna see, but I guess we'll find out.
So as we move through the canyon, feel free to touch the canyon walls if you need to. They are very smooth. Also, they're using the restroom inside of the canyon, no smoking inside or anywhere around the canyon, and also no flash photography, so just make sure your flash is turned off.
They also said you can't take any tripods, can't take any GoPros, and what else did they say?
No gizmos.
No gizmos.
So no microphone.
No microphones. So it's gonna be a
Camera only.
It's gonna be a B-roll festival.
All right, look over here. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Put that down there.
Let me see you touch it. Go ahead, touch it. So this next chamber is known as the cathedral. Okay, very important. Stay together.
When I reviewed this footage at home, I found something very interesting. I saw these hieroglyphics. Well, I think they are, but I'm not sure what they would be if they're not hieroglyphics. It certainly looks like some sort of marker. Our friendly tour guide never mentioned them. Very interesting.
Peter Link sold this photo to an anonymous buyer for $6.5 million, making it the most expensive photograph ever taken in the world.
The canyon is an easy walk. It's about 1/8 of a mile in and about 1/8 of a mile out. The weather in the summer can get up into the hundreds. However, in the canyon, it's about 10 to 15 degrees cooler. But make sure you bring some water.
Head to the back and stop. So sitting down looking in that direction. So I call that the sitting bear. Making one of the more taller slot canyons in the area. So normally slot canyons have a V-shaped formation, which means that the bottom is more tight and then the top is more wide and open. But you'll notice this canyon has an A-shaped formation, which means that the bottom is more wide and open, and the top is really tight and closed. And that is because this canyon is actually deeper than it appears, so it was carved out a long time ago. It was actually a very, very narrow canyon until sand filled the inside again, almost all the way to the top, so it is being carved out once more, which gives it that A shape.
This is a heart. Position your camera just right, and a heart starts to show itself. This place looking up, you can just about make out the shape of a shark.
They get very dip, and then over time we got more and more wind that would blow more and more sand over the top, then more water from rain, and then the sun would heat that up, turning it very hard into a rock over and over again for millions and millions of years. And then over time, wind will blow away the softer sand, leaving behind.
Amazing.
And so when you look at the different layers right here, you can see it matches the layers of the sand dune outside.
Do it again.
When we get water from rainfall, all that water will come in from the different washes, like the one we just drove through, and then it'll carve through it like a knife. And so right in there would be what we can walk through. So that would be the inside of this canyon.
The flood season is during July through September, and yes, it still floods during these months. However, the guides are very aware of the weather and would never send in a tour when there's danger of flooding. And then we are out on the other side. There was just stunning beauty wherever we looked. We took some pictures and a break and soaked up some sun. I noticed something again while reviewing this footage. I discovered hieroglyphics on this side of the canyon as well. They look very similar to the others at the entrance. And here they are again at the opening of this side of the canyon. And again, the guide never mentioned these either. Very interesting. Antelope Canyon is amazing, just beautiful. If you ever go there, make sure you do your bathroom stops before you get into the vehicle to take you on down there, because there's no other restrooms down there. The whole trip's about an hour and a half and takes about 15-minute truck ride to the canyon. And then you're there about 45 minutes probably, touring it, and then about a 15-minute truck ride back